All right, welcome in to another day of our daily Devos in the Psalms. Pastor Rick here, and we are jumping in right away to Psalm 84, part 2. So we did the first, more or less, kind of the first half of the chapter yesterday, and just too much good stuff in this chapter. Didn't want to skip through it too quickly. I actually feel like you could almost break this one down, almost verse by verse, and you'd still get a lot of really great content out of it. So we're going to go ahead and just jump right in. We're going to start in verse 8 and go through verse 12 because it's the last verse. Man, and then you look at the title of Psalm 85, Restoration of Favor. I'm interested. Come back tomorrow. We'll talk about it then. That's my little teaser for tomorrow. Yay. Oh, that was fun. Okay, so anyways, also, if you want to, if you'd be willing, if you could like this video and maybe drop a comment of something that you're thankful for today. Or what your favorite verse, your favorite thought was from yesterday's video. That'd be cool. I would love that. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, just go ahead and click on subscribe and maybe share the video with a friend. If you're being blessed, encouraged, strengthened by these videos, share it with someone. Sharing is caring, my friend. So, all right, we'll jump right in. Verse 8, Lord God of armies, hear my prayer. Listen, God of Jacob. I'm just thankful that we have a God that listens to us. Not only a God that listens to us, but a God that asks us, tells us to talk to him, that wants us to interact with him. My friend Mark Jones, he says all the time, he's like, God is literally waiting expectantly for you to wake up so he can spend time with you. He doesn't have to sleep, but and the Bible also says that he rejoices over us with singing. And, I think sometimes we have too much of a God kind of view, where we don't fully get how much God feels towards us. I don't know. It's kind of, if you really give it some thought, you really think about, he rejoices over us with singing, the God of the universe. Wow. Man, he must really like us, and I know that you can take that concept way too far and be like, I'm so special, it's all about me, and then we kind of go the path of sounding a little bit like Satan, right? I, me, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about really, I think what's more revealed in understanding that God likes me, that God enjoys my company, is it tells me more about him than it tells me about me. It tells me not that I'm so amazing, and because honestly, there was a season in my life where deep down inside, I kind of thought that way. Yeah, I understand why God picked me for his team. I'm a pretty good guy, I got some stuff going on. And then as I really got to know myself, I felt a little less that way, a little less like I had something really great going on. And yet he's still here. He's still with me. He still loves me. He still pursued me. He still paid the price for me. That tells me more about him than it tells me about me. And so it should lift up my understanding of who he is. All right, so consider our shield, God. Verse 9. Consider our shield, God. Look on the face of your anointed one. And the looking on the face is, it's connection, it's presence, being present with someone. Better a day in your courts than 1,000 elsewhere, than 1,000 anywhere else. I was singing the song in my head. Better is one day in your courts. Yeah. So better a day in your courts than 1,000 anywhere else. I would rather stand at the threshold of the house of my God than live in the tents of the wicked people. And here, if you know the layout of the temple, and so the real action, if you will, was going on further in, the Holy of Holies, the courtyard, and so the outer courts, I should say. And so for him to say, like, I'd rather just be at the threshold of the house of my God. Like, he's basically saying, I'd rather just be barely on the outskirts, just be like, just be barely around you, than to be straight up in the house, in the tents, like among the wicked people. And that would just be anybody without God. And that's where his heart is in perspective to how he wants to live his life and where he wants to be. That he'd rather be, just because he knows just a hint, just a hint of God's presence, just a sliver, is better than anything else life has to offer. And I think it's a really great thing to kind of meditate on today is, what is my perspective of the presence of God? And do I have that kind of value? Do I believe that better is one day in your courts than 1,000 anywhere else? Do I believe that? Do I behave that? Like, it's like my new, I love it. Like, do I believe that? I don't know. Do I behave that? If I behave it, maybe I believe it, because if we truly believe something, we should be behaving that thing. All right. For the Lord God is a sun and shield. The Lord grants favor and honor. He does not withhold the good from those who live with integrity. Man. Again, how good is God? Just felt like green highlight for that, For the Lord God is a sun and a shield. The sun warms things, helps things grow, gives you light. And when you're talking about it in battle, for the Lord God is a sun and a shield. You'd much rather fight your battle in the daytime when you can see stuff, right? Obviously, unless you're trying to do a sneak attack. But if somebody's attacking you, you'd much rather have it be happening in the daytime so you can see what's happening. So he's your sun. He's lighting it up. He's lighting up the world so you can see what's going on. He's also your shield, your protector. And then the Lord grants favor and honor, and he does not withhold the good from those who live with integrity. Living with integrity matters. God values it and God honors it, and he doesn't withhold the good from them that do it. So we need to make sure that we set our hearts on being a people of integrity, because that's like, it pleases God, and we want to please God. Like, come on now. Happy is the person who trusts in you, Lord of armies. Happy is the person who trusts in you. It's living life by faith and not by sight. So when your circumstances reflect something different, do you still believe God? The working definition of faith that I currently have in my life is acting as if I believe that what God says is true. So there's a lot of things I can say I believe about God, but do I act like those things are true? Do I behave it? I say I believe it. Do I behave it? And I think that's a great question for us to ask ourselves today. And just one, be overwhelmed. Be overwhelmed today, not by your circumstances, but by what an amazing God we serve. Be amazed, be overwhelmed by his love for you, by his grace and his mercy, by, wow, just his transformative power in our lives. Be overwhelmed by that today. And remember, he's your sun and your shield, grants favor and honor. What a good God. All right. Hope you're encouraged today. God bless you tons and tons, and I will see you tomorrow.